would AGI destroy trading?
Oh boy.
Um, so
Okay, so
it's a,
AGI, artificial general intelligence, for anybody who's
that's it.
curious. I would love your take on this, Tom. I have an opinion, but I don't know how well formed it is.
I was just actually having an argument with or a discussion with this with someone else last night, and they were making the case that AI or AGI reduces creativity, reduces options that are out there, and makes things more streamlined, so that there's no need for a person to do something. And I thought that was something that on paper sounds like it's the case, but anyone who uses any of the AI systems, uses technology at all, realizes that it doesn't reduce the number of choices you have; it increases it. And I can imagine a situation where AI gets used or AGI gets used within the markets with human participants, and increases the amount of volatility that's in the markets, which then creates more opportunity. Right? It's volatility that creates opportunities within markets in order to make money, not stability. Right? A stock that has two volatility and moves up and to the right steadily over time, you're not really trading that. And so, and the ultimate idea here that some people have is that the AI will come into the system. It'll all be so managed so efficiently that there'll be no opportunity for profit. Well, then you're talking about that it destroys the market, which is the ultimate volatility event. That's there's no this it's so evenly traded that there is no market to be made. Well, that's not going to happen, right? It's not going to be like, well, the price on the chart now will be the perfect price, and there's no reason to buy or sell the asset. No, we're going to increase the volatility, and we actually want that to happen. We actually want these AI systems to come to the market because it helps to disrupt current trends, current institutional movements within the market, and provides more opportunity for the roaring kitties, the Wall Street betters, the retail trader to actually find something to capitalize on something in the markets.
This is a tough one, right? It's really tough because there's so much to unpack around the topic of AGI. First off, we don't even have anything that is by definition AGI out there. I know Elon Musk makes the argument that uh, that that the current version of ChatGPT is considered AGI, but I just don't think we're there yet. There's too much contextual information missing from the way that these current LLM models work. They don't quite understand the full breadth of everything involved, and they're so easily influenced by input that they can go completely in the wrong direction and end up hallucinating their understanding. So I think it's fair to say that um, whatever version of AGI that ends up in the future, I think it still ends up another market participant that adds to the randomness and noise of the market, because there's no there's no particular scenario in which one person can corner the entire market without insane amounts of leverage and capital. And even in those scenarios, I think they're still going to be managing risk in a way that probably looks closer to delta neutral, right? Like the Citadels of the world make an insane amount of money remaining delta neutral and basically just paying for order flow and using statistical models to get there. I don't know that AGI gives them any particular leg up. I don't think it's really about an informational edge at that point. It's really about speed. Speed becomes more important than information at some point. So if they can build a connection to the brokers and to the exchanges that can trade in less than 2 milliseconds or start operating in the nanosecond territory, then they stand to make more money from that because they're first in line. So I don't know. I'm like not convinced entirely that AGI is anything that would completely change markets, because there's still just so much noise and so much participation with billions of dollars floating around.
That's a great point that the real money can be made elsewhere and easier, and AGI doesn't know the future,
Right.
so it doesn't have any edge on that anymore than you do.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
I like there's a scene in Westworld where they had hooked up their entire system to everyone's consciousness, and it could actually start to predict where the market future was going to go because it knew it had a pulse on the sentiment of every person on the planet, and it could kind of sense what everybody's sentiment was. We're trying to achieve that by measuring the markets through as many ways as possible so that we can gain sentiment from it. But by playing a part as a buyer assuming that the future represents the total sum of the current sentiment of the markets, there's always going to be somebody else who wants to play the other side of that trade
That's
that
right.
suddenly
That's right.
realizes, no, we think you're overvaluing this and overvaluing the future. You still have to take some kind of position, and you could still be considerably off in your position about what's happening in the future because, well, I don't know, people's minds change every day.
That's
what
right.
what if there's a global random event, somebody bombs another country, and that changes everybody's sentiment in a heartbeat? It doesn't really matter how informed your current information is if it can be completely destroyed by tomorrow's information.
That's right. The buyers have to convince the sellers to sell, and the sellers have to convince the buyers to buy. Like
Sure.
the prices that we see on the chart is a reflection of the bid ask spread and the meeting of the two. So you're right. If it's not the meeting of the two, well, there has to be for there to be a market.
There's always going to be somebody who takes the other side of your trade. Yeah.